You're about to see in this video is a genuine phone call and conversation between a professional footballer and his agents trying to plan out what's going to happen in the off-season planning for the next season. So the reason that I wanted to post this video was essentially because I want to give you guys, my subscribers, a feel for what it feels like to talk to an agent, what it looks like, what it sounds like, what you should say, how an agent will speak to you, how an agent will plan things out for you and lay it all out on the table for you so you guys can understand what it really means to have an agent, to speak to an agent, to talk plans and trials and opportunities with an agent that is FIFA licensed and high level. Any sensitive information is going to be censored, like teams that I might go on trial with, teams that my profile is being sent to. But I'll leave the leagues in there just because that's kind of more public information. And yeah, basically take what you can out of this video. If you guys like content like this, please give a like to this video. Please comment down below what else you'd like to see. And please subscribe if you haven't already so that you can get more tips, more pointers, more advice on how to become a professional footballer. I appreciate you guys. Enjoy the conversation. Hey Christian, how are you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
Not too bad.
How's being back in the U.S.?
It's been okay. It's been not too bad. I'm still healing up this hip injury, slowly getting back into it. So slowly starting to put more weight, more force, more impact, stuff like that. But it's going well so far. So good, thankfully.
What's your timeline?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I think maybe in 2 weeks I'll probably be back to 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, because right now I feel like I'm at a 60. Because I'm back in the gym now, so I'm slowly putting weight. I'm doing a lot of band work, just trying to strengthen up the muscle again and the tendons. So
Yeah, no, I got you. So I wanted to talk a little bit about kind of what's been going on behind the scenes. So we reached out to a few different clubs, USL Championship. We have his name is sporting director for sport USL Championship.
okay, wow.
So I know him since before they even started. So we're trying to get some things done with them, and then there's a few for USL League One. Now I'll send your profile out also to. We have. Let's see. We have. There should be about 4 that I'm still waiting on some responses for.
Okay.
We have. I got in touch with the player personnel. I'm not sure that's going to work out. I'm also waiting on Pro. Still waiting on. And then there's 3 other NISA clubs as the last alternative.
Okay.
Which I will have a call with them this week. We've been pretty close with them for a few years, so that shouldn't be a problem. And then also with.
Okay, perfect. Are they going to continue playing with everything that happened with them in the playoffs?
Yeah, we're still checking on, but as of right now, it usually takes a while for them for something to happen like that. But yeah, as of right now, we're just in talks. There's some interest with some of my players, not all of them. Unfortunately for you, for most of the USL League One and USL Championship, there's not enough data to look into. And I even have some players that have experience in USL Championship, and they just missed out maybe for most of the year. I have one player specifically playing USL Championship last year, but he missed out the last. It was probably a little bit about half the season. He had an ACL injury, and it was because of a tackle. But just because of that, there's still kind of. It's not a yes. Let's just say that.
Okay.
We're still competing with other guys, and even some of the ones that I've been in touch with, for example, have guys that came from also from USL Championship. There's a player that also came from Bundesliga too. We're competing with a lot of strong players, and for some reason they're going into USL League One, which I'm surprised. But so the problem is that because you're not on a Skyrim platform data, it's hard for them to analyze you completely, which they've been doing to all the players that we sent over.
Okay.
So don't feel bad. I do have, I think I have my main 8 players.
Okay.
That I'm trying to work some things out. Obviously, you're included. And then out of these 8, there's you and another kid who just finished his college season. He's amazing. He's a kid he's American, but he's also from Uruguay. He's amazing right now. He had some trials last year.
Mm-hmm.
But as of right now, it's still hard to get him something. And then for you, and then most of the players after that, they have at least one interest from one club, at least, which is, like I said, it's still tough. That's the reason why I said I try to send you guys out to as many clubs that would make sense. At least if they're looking for your position, then I'm going to send them no matter what. And a lot of it pertains to how they play, right? They have their own system, depending on the formation, depending on how they play, inverted, outback, or it can be whatever it is, whatever your position is. Sometimes is a little bit more specific what you're looking for. But other than that, I'm really trying to get you guys some trials right now because I know that everyone's coming back to the office. A few of the assistant coaches let me know that they'll get in touch with me this week for USL League One, and then of course for NISA.
Okay.
So that's the only problem that I've been having with you. And that's the reason why my alternative option for you, the first was for USL League One, second will be like MLS Next Pro, most likely an independent club. But this is the third option, which I'm going to be shooting for NISA.
Okay.
One of my players, he just finished his season with NISA, and then his data is on Y Scout. The good thing is that they're able to see, all his games and it's very specific on the details of what they're looking for. So he did have an interest from FC Tulsa. So we are waiting on that to see if we're able to bring him in. So as you can see, you can jump from NISA all the way to USL Championship, right? So it's definitely possible. It just depends on how well you do that season. So I'm really trying to push for something. I just wanted to let you know.
For sure. And in terms of I don't know, like a backup plan for other countries potentially, is there anything, that we should think about, or should we just be focusing, strictly on the US? How is that? I'm not sure what you're thinking. So I just want to, pick your brain a bit.
Yeah, so it just depends really on which country. Like I said, there's some countries that are fine, and there's plenty that I just don't know either enough about, or I'll have to get in touch with someone because not every country is going to have, a proper league setup. That's the reason why I do like the U.S. because even at the lowest professional setting, they still have your information and data, and even college, D1, D2. So that's the reason why I like it here, because you can send that everywhere. Now it depends on the league level out there, depending on international spots, right? So it just is a little bit more complicated when you're a foreign player. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that that's not a viable option.
Yeah,
it's just,
of course.
Just one of the leagues that
I know what that's like, because I mean I have experience with that. I know what it's like to be a foreign player, having sometimes it's 3 spots, so it's really tough. And a lot of the leagues that I've played in, a lot of them aren't on Y Scout, for example. So that's been unfortunately a big challenge, I guess, that's presented itself now. So
so the problem with that is that for you to get into the next level up, let's just say that, is that it's not as easy as they look at a highlight video and they say, okay, I think this guy can do it. A lot of it's dreamy. It sounds like it's more for the beginning stages and more about the foundation. That gets you into the door of getting some type of interest. But then when they actually look into how you're playing consistently throughout the year, that's what they're going to look at. Now you have to be a very different type of player. What I mean by that is someone that is a marketable player, someone that either has very strong experience that they're able to get away with that.
Yeah.
But outside of that, 99% of players can't do that. So.
Yeah, I understand completely. Yeah, so that I guess unfortunately with everything that happened in Brazil, I mean, unfortunately it just seems that, you know, despite like, the experience that I gained and stuff like that, we're still in a tough spot, but hopefully, things are going to work out. I trust that things will, hopefully go right at least in the USL 1 or NISA, I think
Yeah.
that those levels for me, I mean, I've got friends, a lot of friends that play in that level, and a lot of teammates and stuff, ex teammates. So hopefully, I mean, something will work out. I mean, I'll try to maybe reach out and see what's possible, I guess, like maybe to some of my friends, see if there's a connection there, maybe that we can, like a bridge that we can somehow build. But I mean, other than that, I think that so far so good, I guess. I mean, we've hit a bit of a fork in the road, but we'll figure it out, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that's as you probably know, that tends to be for most players, anyways. There's always a caveat somewhere, some way. Um, but the main thing is to try to get something this week, or at least some type of interest to where we're able to set something up, and then worst case scenario, I mean, I can still look outside. I do have connections in, Scotland, second division. I have Finland, first division. I have this won't happen, but Spain, second division. I have Portugal, third division. But most of theirs are developing players, so they usually want someone from 16 to 18 years old. So
Yeah, for sure.
every club is going to have something different depending on the tier level that they're at.
Yeah.
The goals that they have is going to be very different from each team, and then of course of each team they're going to have their own way of playing and their setup. There maybe the alternative formation that they tend to play if the opposing team comes with this setup or with this formation, so the tactics change. So they need versatility. So it's a lot that they look into, and for us to not have the videos for them to properly analyze you, it's a long shot.
Yeah,
so
100%.
That's the reason why the least, or at least like the worst case scenario, for at least for me in my head, is to get you something in NISA, because even though I know it's a league that, even though it's professional, there are some coaches that kind of see it kind of not as high of just because of mainly the financial structure, and some players maybe barely make it, and a lot of the USL leagues, they kind of see that as like, oh, I don't think he's a pro, to be honest. So it's there's a lot of stuff that happens, I guess, within that league that kind of loses credit. Let's just say that.
Yeah, for sure.
But what I mainly care about is just you getting the playing time, because the goal is not for you to stay at NISA. The goal is for you to get those videos up, to get yourself on the White Scout scanning platform, and making sure I'm able to get the data for you. And then after that, that's where you're able to have the chance to move up the ladder, hopefully into a USL League One, USL Championship, something like that, or maybe even somewhere else.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes complete total sense to me. So, yeah, that sounds like a good plan. Hopefully, in the next week or so, we'll have something lined up.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, well, we'll keep in touch. Any updates, I'll let you know.
For sure, for sure.
Other than that, just make sure you recover fully, and then of course make sure you do your training. I have some of my players already doing a lot of training as well. I have one player right now in Miami with SAT Soccer. It's a very intense and developing training camp where there's a lot of professionals that go there.
Mm-hmm.
So he's over there training with some MLS players.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah,
do they have anything do you know of anything like that in the West Coast, or like any groups? Because I would love, honestly, to get like a really good group here in LA, because that's something for me I feel like is missing. Like, I'm doing the gym work, I'm doing the, when I was able to do ball work, I was doing it, like I was getting my fitness in, but I feel like I just need to be challenged more when it came to like training with the ball, like on my, like get USL guys, MLS guys, like, get their intensity, get their pace, their speed of play, their like, their game IQ, all that kind of stuff, pick their brains. That's something that I would love to be able to do.
let me do this. I have, when I used to live there, you know, I did end up meeting some players. There's a kid. I don't think he plays anymore, but I know I can still talk to him. He played for LA Galaxy, the second team, and then there's a player that I know he knows some MLS players as well. But I think they're mainly based in Orange County. But I'm gonna have to double check with that.
Okay, cool. I mean, that would be fine by me, honestly.
Yeah, just letting you know that it would be more towards that side of you know, California. At least it's not that far, but I know with traffic,
not at all.
That kind of sucks.
Yeah,
but
it's all good.
It's just the next county over.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but I'll let you know. I'll go ahead and talk with him.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. All right, we'll stay in touch. Let me know anything else, but I'll give you an update if I hear back.
Perfect. Thanks so much, man. Appreciate it.
All right, Hamid. Appreciate it.
Good night. Take care.